we cover most everything?
Have we covered most everything? Maria, can you think of something else to say about Mom's life? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Anything else you want to say, Mom? We're glad to be here. Mother she was actually running the Icebreaker Run up in Montana just in the end of winter, and that's when she had a little mental event. Something happened, and that's when she decided she needed to go into a place where she could have a little bit more help with her living. And so she opted to go to an assisted living, and since I was already working here, and we saw the ones up in Montana, and I'm going to tell you, we win against those every time. So I was really grateful that Mother chose to come down here and join our little group. So.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to
The
say?
doctor told Susan that I would need help. And here I am preparing for my 94th hike.
Why don't you tell about that? Yeah.
When I turned 90, I said, I'm gonna put up with this birthday party stuff with cakes and everything. So I led a hike into the Memorial Falls. It was a short hike, but it was well attended, and we got baptized by the Memorial Falls. Water pouring down on me, and you have the.
I brought one of the latest ones. She always hiked up. It's a cute hike, but it is straight uphill. So we would hike the half mile. Mother would make it up. The two brothers would help, and she would stand under the waterfall. Nice, lovely, cold water streaming over her. We'd get a picture. And she did that every year rather than have a big, funky, happy birthday celebration. And we were kind of preparing for that when this whole thing happened. So she thought she'd come down here and then not long break her leg and then get over that, and off we go. She's doing great. So, is there anything else? Unless you have any.
That was just 3 years ago, the last time you went up there?
No, we went up last year.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we went up last year. Yeah, and she would have, except this little marathon run kind of knocked her for a little loop. So, anyway, but no, we went every year. You went every year.
Yeah. But
Did you have a question, Brian?
Yes, Starshine, that's very impressive. I didn't know you were a doctor.
Oh.
Tell what are your degrees in?
well, I taught school for 25 years, and my classes were always small because I taught the students that no teacher would put up with. And the net result of having these students that were argumentative and non-compliant, I stayed in trouble with the principals as well as my kids. Incidentally, I do not support public education because even though I had a check from public education every month, the truth is I feel that public education is making students compliant, and I feel I want, well, as a matter of fact, the Latin verb for teaching is educare, and the net result of that, when you think about it, is that teachers are supposed to draw out from students, not pour stuff in. And I feel that's a big problem of education today, is that we force the teachers are compliant to pour stuff into kids, not draw this information out from students. So I stayed in hot water for many years in my teaching. And the reason that I got a doctorate was I wanted the principals to have to say sir to me, because they would always bullying me out for standing up for this kid or that kid. And I thought, well, if they would only do their job right, the students would be more curious and more interested in education. But the schools today feel they have these standardized tests, and their students have to do well on those standardized tests. They're not doing a very good job as a teacher. And I feel they're doing, I feel like they need to be drawing out from the students, not trying to force and pour stuff we already know in.
So did you, was it at high school level you taught at high school?
You taught middle school. Middle school. And she got her doctoral, as you can see, in philosophy. Now, Mother, you did your thesis or something on testing? Didn't you do something on testing? And is that what? And then she turned her thesis in on a floppy disk, one of the first to ever do that. Right?
No, I don't remember all that.
I remember.
My stroke wiped off my blackboard, and there's a lot of things I do not remember.
Those parts I remember, but I got a kick out of that. You can kind of see where my little bit of backbone comes from, is my mother. A little oppositional defiance, as the term is today, perhaps. Okay, so any other questions?
I was going to tell a story about Susan. I said that my father was quite dictatorial and manipulative, and I didn't buck him at all. And at our big dining room table with the 4 kids, Lois, her older sister, was always in hot water with Bob, her father.
She was.
And at the dinner table, he would say, and Lois cannot have a date this week. She's campused. And Susan, at least on one occasion, and I remember several occasions, would say, you can't do that to Lois. I saw her here. She was here at 10 o'clock. And you cannot campus her. And Bob would say, well, not only can I campus her, but I can campus you for standing up and saying things. And so Susan would say, that's all right, but you can't campus Lois.
I was a big defender of my sister Lois, and my dad was just, so sure she'd go off track. So he was working hard not to have her go off track. He let me off that campus, by the way, pretty quick, but she got stuck with it for a little longer. That was her life. Any other questions about Mom? Love to answer.
Oh, Mom has one more.
Way back in the horse days, when I had Traveler. He was a 14-year-old and getting a little old. Dad bought me a cute filly. She was kind of sparkly. And Dad said, well, I'll have a cowboy whip trainer. And this is rather typical of me. I say to myself, he is not going to whip train Flicka. There's a wonderful book called My Friend Flicka. And he's not gonna have a whip on Flicka. So for 6 months, I hear the town was quite small and my barn was right just 4 blocks from home. And I would go over sometimes during school and sometimes after school, but I would ride every day. And at one point, I started training Flicka, and I did not tell Dad about it until I could ride her. And that's how I got by with this very controlling, manipulative father.
And she did that in lots of other ways, so it's kind of fun. I, of course, love my grandpa and didn't have to be raised by him, so that made things a little bit different for me. And her mother, adored her mother. Any other questions? Mom, got anything else you want to say? We've loved sharing all of this, so we've had a lot of fun. You don't realize how many pictures you don't have till you're trying to do a quick review of life, so.
Well, and as soon as we dismiss this, I'll think of 10 stories we didn't tell.
I'll just say, can I say
Yeah,
something?
say
Or
it
just
loud.
say how grandma's just always been good about having positive quotes everywhere.
Oh yeah, Mother has positive, affirmative quotes all around her house and all around her room. Do you still have some in there? She still has some in there. She just has always done that, tried to keep positive about everything so she could stay on the positive end of things.
And take pictures and send postcards to everyone.
Yeah, take pictures and send postcards. I got a postcard every day when I was in college, and sometimes it would just say hello. But I gotta tell you, it was really nice getting some in my mailbox every day. Any questions about that picture, ladies? Are we good? Okay.
We're gonna let her go.
Give a round of applause. I think we saw our friends too.
Thanks, Brian.